We're all told the same thing. A bigger paycheck is the ticket to financial freedom. More money, fewer problems, right? Well, what if that's not the whole story? What if feeling secure has way less to do with the number on your payslip and a whole lot more to do with the operating system running in your head?
Okay, get ready for this, because it's a wild one. According to a report from Goldman Sachs, a staggering 40% of people earning over $300,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. These are high-income earners, people we would all assume are totally set financially, but they're feeling just as stretched as someone on a much, much lower salary. So here's the crucial point. Income alone just isn't the answer.
So that brings us to the big question we're going to tackle in this explainer. If pulling in a high salary doesn't automatically make you wealthy or give you that financial peace of mind, then what actually does? The answer might surprise you, and you guessed it, it has everything to do with psychology.
See, it all comes down to what we call the real wealth gap. And no, it's not just about the numbers sitting in a bank account. It's a gap in mindset, a really fundamental difference in how we see the world and our own resources.
This gap is really defined by two completely opposing mindsets. On one side, you've got the scarcity mindset. This one is all about limits, fear, and everything you don't have. It sees life as a zero-sum game. If someone else wins, you must lose. But on the other side is the abundance mindset, which is all about opportunities, growth, and the belief that there really is enough for everyone. These two mindsets, they're like the invisible scripts driving all of our financial decisions.
So what exactly is a scarcity mindset? Well, think of it like this. It's that constant nagging feeling that you just don't have enough. It's a deep-seated belief that resources, whether that's money, time, or even good opportunities, are fundamentally limited. And here's the tricky part. This isn't just a feeling. It can actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy that keeps you totally stuck.
But here's the real hidden cost of scarcity. It drains your mental bandwidth. Seriously, constantly worrying about not having enough literally taxes your brain, and it actually reduces your ability to think clearly. This makes long-term planning feel almost impossible, and it can lead to some pretty self-defeating decisions just to get through the day, which of course just reinforces the very cycle you're trying to escape.
Now the alternative, and really our goal here, is the abundance mindset. This is the belief that opportunities and resources are plentiful. It's a perspective that naturally fosters gratitude and creativity. Instead of operating from a place of fear, you're operating from a place of possibility, and that is the foundation for building real sustainable wealth.
Okay, so that's all the theory. But how does a scarcity mindset actually show up in our day-to-day lives? Let's look at some of the most common symptoms, which, by the way, often disguise themselves as rewards or even status symbols.
Symptom number 1, brand name fashion. For a lot of people, wearing a big, recognizable logo is a way to signal success. It's all about spending money to look like you've made it, using that external validation to feel good on the inside.
And wow, this quote just hits the nail on the head. While one group buys to prove they've made it, the other buys because they already have. Think about that. People who are truly wealthy often prioritize quality and value over flashy logos because their sense of self-worth isn't tied to the brand they're wearing. It's a completely different motivation behind the purchase.
All right, next up, the new car cycle. That new car smell is often seen as the scent of achievement, right? But financially, a new car is a depreciating asset. It loses value the second you drive it off the lot. A scarcity mindset sees that monthly payment as a badge of honor, while an abundance mindset might see it as a trap, money that could be invested in actually growing for your future.
And finally, the flashy vacation. And look, we all deserve a break for sure, but there's a huge difference between a trip that enriches your life and one that's a high-interest escape from it. Vacations driven by scarcity are often all about the Instagram post and looking good, even if it means coming home to a giant mountain of credit card debt.
So, we've identified the problem. But here's the really good news. You're not stuck with this mindset. You can actively train your brain to shift from scarcity to abundance. It's not about wishing for more money. It's about building the mental and emotional discipline to manage what you have effectively.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Think like an athlete. Specifically, an elite athlete who's making a comeback from a serious injury. Their return to peak performance isn't just physical, right? It's a massive psychological battle that requires focus, a clear strategy, and incredible resilience. We can apply that exact same mindset to our financial comeback.
So what does that actually look like?
Well, research on elite athletes shows this comeback mindset is built on 3 key pillars. First, you develop coping skills like optimism and patience. Second, you have to find a deep motivation, that real desire to improve. And third, you systematically restore your self-confidence through small, consistent wins. This is the exact blueprint we need for our own financial recovery.
Okay, so here's your training plan. These are real concrete actions you can take starting today. First up, the 24-hour rule. Just wait a day before any non-essential purchase. This one is a killer for impulse buys. Second, write down your long-term goals and keep them somewhere you'll see them every day. This reminds you what you're really fighting for. Third, practice mindfulness. Start to notice what triggers your urge to spend. Is it stress? Boredom? Finally, and this is huge, reframe the victory. Celebrate saving money as a win for your future self, not a sacrifice you're making today.
When you boil it all down, this all comes back to a fundamental choice. It's a choice you make every single day, with every dollar you handle, and it completely defines the path you're on.
And this is the choice right here. On one side, you've got short-term comfort, that instant dopamine hit of a new purchase, spending for social approval, the whole game of looking rich. On the other side, that's long-term freedom, the quiet satisfaction of delayed gratification, spending for genuine value, and the reality of actually being rich. They are 2 totally different games.
And let's end on this really powerful idea. Wealth isn't built by looking rich. It's built by quietly making smarter choices day after day. True financial freedom is rarely flashy. It's the cumulative result of thousands of small, disciplined decisions that probably nobody else even sees.
So that brings us to the end, and I really want to leave you with this question to think about. This isn't about overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about starting small, starting now with one single action. So, what is one choice you can make today to invest in your future freedom?